I did a video here a while back on a little when I went through my hometown where I grew up when I was from time I can remember until I was 12 years old, and I did a little video on that when I passed through there a few years back, and about the old one-room schoolhouse that I went to, or two-room schoolhouse actually, a little rock building out in the country. And there was 6 people in my class when I started school there. There were 6 of us in the first grade, and I believe one of them was the guy that left a comment on, I think he was probably in first grade with me, and we were pretty good buddies. And but the other day I had a comment on my video that said, hey, I watched your video on Van Buren, Missouri, and I too lived in that area and when you were there, and had his name, and it was Robert Utterback. And well, how many Robert Utterbacks could there possibly be that went to school at the same time I did? And there's only 6 people in the class, so you know, that was my old buddy from grade school, just starting out in school. And we talked back and forth briefly, and you know, really there's not a whole lot to talk about because I haven't seen the guy for 50 years, so we both just share a couple of memories, and mostly things that he remembers things that I don't, and vice versa, you know. So but anyway, that was pretty cool. That jogged some memories, some old memories and stuff, and so that was kind of fun. And I had some pictures that I was able to send him of his grandma and grandpa when they were young people, and his grandpa was my dad's very best friend, lifelong friend. And then there was another picture that of he and I that was taken when, I don't know, I think I figured out I was 8 years old in this picture, I guess. And this is at the swing set behind that old rock schoolhouse out in the country. And that would be from the left would be, I believe that's Robert's younger brother, Harold Utterback. And this was taken in 1960, so, and then that's me, that's Harold. I don't know if that's going to focus. That's Harold, and then that's me. And I was 8 years old. And then Jackie Skiles, and Beverly Dawson, and Wanda Huddleston. And so I had a story about Harold Utterback, about when he was in first grade. And the teacher, you know, at that time, these kids, we all went to church, and we learned right from wrong. And we, you know, we were taught that when we were little kids. And so this little boy got caught lying in school, and the teacher, Miss Nicholson, confronted him, and she was talking about a spanking when she asked him the question, do you know what happens to little boys who lie? Well, her intent was to spank him, because back in those days teachers spanked kids, and you know, and then you went home and you got another spanking at home just for getting a spanking at school. And that's how it was, and it didn't hurt anybody. Probably made better people out of us. So anyway, when she asked him, do you know what happens to little boys who tell lies, he said, yeah. He pointed down, and he said, he pointed down to the ground, he said, they go down there and they burn forever. So that was a little more severe punishment than she had intended to dish out. So so she wound up not giving him a spanking because it was just too cute what he had said. So his brother Robert emailed me and said that he has a story, that Harold has a story that he tells about me at this time, when I was at this age, 8, 9 years old. And he said we both liked the same girl. And it was, I don't know if it was this girl on the swing. I don't think it was Beverly Dawson. I think it was Barbara Rector. But anyway, he said we both liked the same girl, so Harold gave me a nickel to not sit by her. And then he said I took the nickel and sat by her anyway. That just doesn't sound like something I'd do. Anyway, so that was kind of a cool thing to hear from an old school chum from you know, 50 years ago. And up in those trees right behind this swing set, we actually brought some hatchets to school. I know I brought a hatchet. I don't know what these other guys, we brought some tools, some equipment to school. And we cut down some saplings back there, and there was 4 trees that were growing up in a kind of a square pattern, you know, maybe a 6-foot square or something like that. And we cut down some saplings, and we took the school's jump ropes and tied those saplings up there, and then started laying brush across the top. And we built us a 2-story fort, and we just had a blast. And we used to play in the clay bank with our little cars and play cars and get just absolutely filthy. And you could, you know, that was a different time. That was a different era. Anyway, that's my story about Robert and Harold Utterback. And I think that's about all I wanted to say this morning, and I appreciate every one of you. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the funny papers. And I hope an old school chum from 50 years ago contacts you and gives you a good chuckle for the day. See ya.